Hello, Paris. Emma always dreamed of visiting Paris. She'd seen pictures of the Eiffel Tower sparkling at night. She wanted to taste sweet crepes from a street vendor. More than anything, she wanted to go there with her parents. Finally, her dream was coming true. Emma and her parents were going to Paris. She helped her mom, Sarah, pack their suitcases. She carefully put her favorite teddy bear, Mr. Snuggles, right on top. The plane ride was long, but Emma didn't mind. She was too excited. When they finally landed, she could barely hold it in. "Hello, Paris!" she shouted, giggling as her dad ruffled her hair. They took a taxi to their hotel. The streets were busy with people. Emma loved seeing the Eiffel Tower in the distance. It was even taller than she imagined. City of lights, city of wonders. The next morning, they went exploring. Emma was amazed by the big streets and cute cafes. Sarah pointed out beautiful statues and fountains. Her dad, Michael, took pictures of everything. They climbed the Eiffel Tower. Emma felt like she could see the whole city. That afternoon, they took a boat ride on the Seine River. Emma loved watching the city go by. The next day, they visited a busy market. Stalls were full of colourful flowers, fresh bread and yummy cheeses. The air was filled with activity. Emma loved the sights and smells. Sarah bought a beautiful scarf. Michael picked out a tiny Eiffel Tower for Emma. Emma held it tight. It was the perfect souvenir. Lost in the crowd. Suddenly Emma saw a stall selling colourful macarons. "Mummy, can I have a macaron?" she asked, her eyes wide. Sarah smiled. "Of course, honey," she said. "Let's see which flavour you'd like." As Sarah looked at the macarons, a big group of tourists bumped into them. Emma got pushed and separated from her parents. She turned around, but they were gone. Emma felt a jolt of fear. She called out for her parents, but her voice was lost in the market noise. Tears filled her eyes. The happy market suddenly seemed scary. The smells and sounds that she loved just moments ago now made her afraid. She felt very small and all alone. A mother's worst fear. Sarah turned back to Emma, but she was gone. Panic filled her. "Michael, where's Emma?" she cried, her voice full of fear. Michael spun around, his face turning white. They both frantically looked around the nearby stalls. "Emma! Emma!" they called, their voices urgent. Minutes felt like hours. Each unanswered call made their fear grow. Sarah's heart pounded. She imagined terrible things happening to Emma. Michael tried to stay calm. "We'll find her, Sarah," he said, putting his arm around her. "She can't have gone far." But his voice shook with worry. They ran through the market, looking at every face, but Emma was nowhere to be seen. Despair started to creep in, threatening to overwhelm them. Emma wandered through the market, her little legs taking her further from her parents. Tears ran down her face, blurring her vision. She saw a kind-looking woman arranging flowers at her stall. Taking a deep breath, Emma walked up to her. "Excuse me," she said, her voice shaking. "I've lost my mummy and daddy." The woman knelt down to Emma's level. "Oh, honey, don't you worry," she said, her voice warm and comforting. "You're lost, but you're safe now." Emma, comforted by the woman's kind eyes and gentle touch, told her how she got separated from her parents. The woman listened patiently, nodding her head. Meanwhile, Sarah and Michael were desperately asking everyone if they'd seen a little girl with blonde curls and a pink dress. Some shook their heads sadly, others ignored them. They decided to split up, hoping to cover more ground. Sarah ran towards the Eiffel Tower, thinking Emma might have wandered that way. Michael searched near the Seine River, his heart sinking with every moment. The thought of not finding Emma was unbearable. He stopped a police officer, his voice hoarse with worry as he explained what happened. The officer, understanding their fear, took down their information and promised to help. The kind florist, whose name was Marie, gave Emma a big hug. "Don't worry, dear, we'll find your parents," she reassured her. Marie held Emma's hand and led her to the center of the market, where a large fountain stood. "Stay here, little one," she said. "I'll make an announcement." Marie spoke into a microphone, her voice echoing across the market. She described Emma and asked for her parents to come to the fountain. Just then, Sarah came running towards them, her face showing relief and panic. She grabbed Emma into her arms, hugging her tightly. "Emma, oh my darling girl!" she cried, tears running down her face. Moments later, Michael arrived, out of breath and worried. Seeing Emma safe in Sarah's arms, he felt a wave of relief. He joined their hug, holding them both close. They thanked Marie over and over for her kindness and quick thinking. Emma, still a little scared but safe in her parents' arms, waved goodbye to the kind florist. As they walked back to their hotel, Emma held both her parents' hands tightly. The busy streets of Paris, which had seemed so scary a short time ago, now felt safe. That night, tucked in bed between her parents, Emma talked about her adventure. She told them how scared she had been, but also how Marie had helped her. Sarah and Michael listened closely, telling her everything was all right now. They were just so happy to have their precious daughter back. The rest of their trip went smoothly. They visited museums, ate delicious pastries and walked along the Seine, but Emma stayed close to her parents. When it was time to go home, Emma was sad to leave Paris, but she knew she would never forget her adventure or the kindness of Marie, the Parisian florist. Back home, Emma told everyone about her trip. She had faced her fear and found help when she needed it. And she knew that no matter where she went, kindness could always be found. The little Eiffel Tower keychain, a reminder of her Parisian adventure, now hung from Mr. Snuggles' arm. It was a souvenir of a trip she would always remember.